Good morning, guys. How are y'all? Good. All right, today we're going to have a little bit of fun this week in reading. You don't need your pencils right now. We are going to incorporate a science lesson with our reading lesson. So what kind of text do you think we may be reading to do that?
A science text.
Well, do you think it's going to be informational text, realistic fiction, or fiction? What genre do you think we're going to be using?
Fiction.
For an informational text. Good job, Ariel, because we're incorporating science, which means it has to be real, correct? Yes. So we couldn't even do realistic fiction and it be science. So we are going to be doing a science lesson today. Do you remember a few weeks ago when you guys did for me that little assessment to circle living and non-living things? Remember that? Yeah, we did that. Well, that's what I did that for, to see what all you knew, and based on that is what I'm going to be teaching you this week. So the first thing that's different for this week is I made you guys, with your help, these science portfolios. You have them in front of you. Don't open them right now because we're going to do them in a minute. A lot of you got to color this on Friday. When you open it, don't open it right now, but when you do in a little bit, you're going to have a life cycle and the definition of a life cycle, which is the way that living things continuously grow and make new living things and then die, because all living things do eventually die. Then you're going to have a passage right here that explains the different life cycles of a butterfly and a frog and even a plant, because did you know that a plant is a living thing?
Yes.
It is. Then when you turn the page, you've got a life cycle of an oak tree and a life cycle of a frog. It's all in there as your references and your resource materials. Okay, it's all right there for anything you're going to need for this, possibly need for this week. As you do your work in reading centers this week, your work's going to go in here. And you're just going to lay it in here. Like if you'll see, I already laid this in there. I don't want you to mess with the little metal pieces, okay? I'll take care of that at the end of the day. I'll organize your papers where they need to be. You're just going to put all the work inside the folder, okay? So, to get started, we're going to play. Miss Briggs, do you have a timer by chance? I forgot to get one. I used to do it on my phone, and since I'm recording with my phone, it makes it kind of hard. So you get to open up your portfolios. You're going to see this white piece of paper that's not fastened. It's just laying in there. We're going to set it for 2 minutes, the timer. I want you in 2 minutes to list, thank you, as many things that you know of that have a life cycle. 1, 2, we're going to have a little race. 3, go. List as many things that you know have a life cycle. Don't worry about any race. You don't have to worry about any racing. Still go. Scratch and go. Scratch and go. Oh, your pencil broke, Nelson? Okay. All right. Go. And even perfect spelling. Just sound it out the best you can. Sound it out the best you can. Think about all the different things. Think about all the different things that have a life cycle that you know of. Let's go. It's a race. Let's go. Are y'all racing? You racing to the finish? You got about 50 seconds left. Oh, that's one of my favorite things ever. Good job. No,
Leave it. Okay.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
do you want to back it up a little bit while I'm doing? And then when I do groups. Man, you got 10 things already? Oh, wow. Awesome. Good job. All right, let's see.
Watch your feet.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pencils up. Okay. Good job. down now. What is something you put on your list, Van?
Dog.
Dog? Great. Yes, a dog has a life cycle. Ariel, what is something you put on your list? A crocodile. I love it. London, tell me something you put on your list.
A rabbit.
A rabbit. Okay, you're going to get more time in small groups to show me your list and what you put on there. Okay, but we got to move on just a little bit. So I looked at some of your answers. We talked about that. So while this is loading, we're going to play a little video about life cycles so I can tell you about it. Get our smart board to come on. Okay, so a life cycle is the cycle that something living goes through. It's like us. We start off as babies, you become children, you become teenagers, you become adults, you become older people, and you pass away. That's the circle of life. The same thing happens with animals, trees. Trees even start from little bitty seeds and then go to little plants, then a bigger tree, then a bigger tree, then a huge big old tall tree, like taller than us, like on the playground. And then eventually, trees will die.
How?
They have a life cycle just like us, Micah. They're a living thing, so they eventually will get old and they will die. That's just part of what happens.
But I thought trees live forever.
No. So this week, what you're going to do, part of our standards, remember I told you we're doing science and reading standards. Your science standard this week is you're going to demonstrate an understanding of how living things change in form as they go through the general stages of life. Okay? That's going to be your science standard. To help us with reading, the reading standards, you're going to know and use various texts. Now, we've done this standard back before Christmas, but none of you really mastered it. So we're going to repeat this one. And this is when you're going to use things like bold print and captions and glossaries to help us understand the informational text better. Remember when we did that some? But y'all, that's a hard one. That's tricky. So we're going to review that this week. You're also going to explain how specific images like a diagram show how things work. This right here, can I borrow yours, Chase? Thank you so much. This right here is a diagram, and it's showing us how a butterfly has a life cycle, and you all have this in your portfolio. It's showing us how it started with the eggs, then it became a larva, then a pupa, then the adult. This is a diagram, and that's part of what you're going to use this week. There you go. These folders are really cool, don't you think? I think they're cool. Okay? Very good. So those are our standards. I always like to let you know what standards we're doing. Before we watch our video, I do have just a few questions. These are questions for the week, so I'm not going to ask them all today. But I just want you to stop and think for a minute. Are you living?
Yes.
Are we all living?
Yes.
We are. What does it mean to be alive, Riley? That's a very deep question. If you don't know the answer, be thinking about that. Maybe we'll talk about it in small group. Aaron, what does it mean to be alive? You're living in this world. Yes, you are here. You're living in this world. And when we are living, we're what? What do we do with our noses? Breathing. And we smell with our nose too. Breathing. What do we do with our mouth besides talk? Because we know that. Eat, yes.
Or
do
talk.
we need, think about that, do we need the air and the food to live?
Yes.
That is what makes us different than our folders, right?
Yes.
Are we different from this folder?
No. Yes.
Are we going to feed this folder?
No.
Are we going to watch this folder breathe?
No.
No, because it is a what?
Folder.
Well, and we call it, yes, we call it non-living. Can you say that? It's non-living. I'm living. The folder is non-living. Yep. So some of the things I want you to think about as we go through this week, and we're going to talk about these questions every day, but get the wheels in your brain turning a little bit. Think about why living things are so different. Not right now. Think about it as we go through our unit, and we're going to talk about that one tomorrow or the next day. Think about how you, Brianna, are living, that you're different than that pine tree outside. Because you both are living, right? So I want y'all to think about how you're different, But I also want you to think about how you're the same. How are you the same as that tree? So be thinking about those as we go through this. And be thinking about, why do living things change over time? And my big objective for y'all this week is I want you to know and think about, why do you think it's important to learn about living things? And we are going to talk about that real quick. Kaden, why do you think it's important to learn about living things? What, honey? So you don't die. That's a very good. So you don't die. So you can, if you did not know that you're supposed to feed yourself and give yourself water, or if you're an adult and you have a baby and you didn't know your baby needed those things, how could you properly take care of them?
Feed them.
Yeah, but you couldn't. What about if you had a pet? Is a pet a living thing?
Yes.
But if you never learned about living things and how to take care of a pet, what would happen to your pet?
Die.
Yes. So those are things.
You have to feed your pet cat food, or you have a dog or
That's right.
Last night on YouTube, I saw
Dogs eat cats.
Okay. Yeah.
Dogs
That's
don't
sad.
even eat.
Okay, let's move on. I've got one more important question we're going to think about before we break into our small groups. And we're going to watch our video, then break into our small groups. This one is really important. We haven't talked a whole lot about this. But learning about living things, studying living things, we're going to be like scientists this week. How do you think you could grow up and get a job doing that? Aaron?
Go to school.
What? Okay, yes, you have to go to school, but what kind of job? Maybe is better my question. Nelson? What kind of job? How do you think you can? We are having to learn this because one day in the real world you will use this knowledge, and you could use this knowledge in a job. And what kind of job do you think it could be? Doctors, they study living things. Yes, living people. We're going to move. I'm going to go ahead and talk to you about something I got to visit yesterday. One of my very best friends in the whole, been friends since we were little girls, she works at a place called Green Forest Nursery. Green Forest Nursery is in Wiggins. It's a plant nursery, not a baby nursery. They do plants. This place was started by a man right out of college who had no money. No money. He went on his grandma's farm in Wiggins and dug up some trees in the very backwoods called Yopon trees. A lot of people in Wiggins wanted those trees, so he started selling them to them. He started taking the seeds from the tree, planting them, and growing more. Him and his wife now have a multi-million-dollar business. They grow trees and sell them to Lowe's, to Home Depot, to Walmart. So this little place in Wiggins gets to sell their trees that they grow in Wiggins, which is about 20 minutes north of here, to these big, huge companies. And I got to go visit. And this week I'm going to show you pictures as we go. But today I really wanted to show you how it goes from learning about it in school to how he was able to make that his job. He was one day like you guys sitting in a classroom learning about how trees grow. And he took that knowledge and started a huge business. That's how we use it in the real world. So that's me yesterday standing next to a magnolia tree. Look how big it is. And they sell, my friend Sarah told me that tree right there, they have over 10,000 of them. They have a 300-acre nursery. They have over several thousand of these big, tall magnolias, and they sell them for $800 a piece. One tree. That one tree. So do you see why learning about trees and living things can be so important?
Yes.
Because one day you can get a job and do stuff with it.
I want to be
My next picture I'm going to show you, that's study of living things, Micah. This is a local business in Wiggins who also buys their plants and their trees from the nursery where my friend works. My friend there, she's the office manager and their accountant. She runs the whole office for them. She does all the orders. And tomorrow when we learn more about plants, I've got even more pictures to show you. I'm going to show you how a magnolia tree goes from a little seed all the way to that big old one I was just standing by. But this right here is a store in Wiggins that actually sells, you can see some over here, some of the trees that are grown in that big, huge nursery. So that is how taking this stuff we learned today and learning about it now, growing up and putting it in use in the real world. Yes, Jace.
I remember that day when you had told us what white suits that came in the classroom.
When what, honey?
Two people that came in with a white suit, and you had told us that he owns 21 schools.
Oh, when our superintendent came in and he's the boss of our 21 schools? Yes, I did talk about that. I did. We'll talk about that lesson another day, okay?
So now I'm going to
So I have a little video for y'all called It's Alive!
Squeaks, it's a great day to be alive. And yes, I'm really living, and so are you. But what does that mean? It sounds like a pretty simple question, right? There are living things all around us, as well as things that are not living. When I was looking around the fort's playground just a minute ago, I saw a rock, which is not a living thing. But the bird that was sitting in the tree, that's definitely living. And the tree is too. But sometimes the answer to the question of what's a living thing and what's not can be a little tricky. I can hear a bird sing when I watch a video on a computer or a phone. But of course, computers and phones aren't living things, even though they might make sounds exactly like things that are alive. Scientists called biologists study all sorts of living things. So they're the experts on what things are living and what things are not. After studying all kinds of life, they discovered that everything that's alive, or was once alive, has a few things in common. You can think of them kind of as rules that all living things follow. So let's take a look at some of these rules. Rule number 1. Living things need energy. You need energy to play and to do your schoolwork. A plant needs energy to make new leaves and to grow. Even some kinds of germs use energy when they make us sick. Living things get energy in lots of different ways, but they all need it to stay alive. Okay, rule number 2. Living things grow and change. You're bigger than you were when you were a baby, but you're not as big as you will be someday. And just like you, all living things grow and change, whether that means growing up or getting more branches and making new leaves like trees do. All right, rule number 3. Living things reproduce.
Okay, we are going to stop right here because we'll talk about some of this later tomorrow because we don't need it all for our first day. So I'm going to explain to you a little bit. This week, because we are doing a science lesson, you're going to get to use your STEM Scope science book. And you will get those when you come to my table to move throughout or when you need them. So you are going to have your STEM scopes. What you're going to do, you don't have them yet, but I'll make sure you get them. What you're going to do in your STEM scopes book is you're going to, at my table, we're going to talk about this first page. And you're going to then use, in your book, you will have these little flyers of the different types. There's a butterfly life cycle, a ladybug life cycle, a tree life cycle, and a little plant life cycle. And you're going to draw where it says life cycle 1, draw it. Life cycle 2, draw it. Then you're going to flip over, do another one, and another one. So you'll have 4 all together. When you draw it, I want you to label the parts because this is your own diagram. You're making your own diagram. Then you have questions down here you can answer. How are they alike? How are they different? Okay? So we're going to start off. If you normally go to the computer as your first group, but hang on because not all of you, are our 2 school computers working now? Since we're down a computer, if they need to do Lexia on there, and then I didn't even think about that, they can do that.
One of our school computers.
Okay, hang on, Jace.
What? Okay, no, they both seem to be okay at the moment.
Okay, if you'd rather do that so they get their Lexia, that's up to you. If you're normally at the computer, go, stay. Jace, you're going to stay at your seat. And who else? Because there's 6 of them in that group and we don't have enough computers.
Do their skill builders
Yes,
if
that's
we run
perfectly
out
fine.
of computers, they can do
Okay,
their
so
Lexia
Jace,
skill builders.
So Jace, you're going to do your Lexia Skill Builder, and who else would you like to pick? Romello, you're going to do your Lexia Skill Builders. The rest of you, if you're normally on computers, please go get on the computers first. If you start with me, please go to my table. Micah, you're in that group that started with me. Please go to my, and you need to bring your science portfolio. You need to bring your science portfolio to my table. If you normally do independent, I have your book right here. Guys, please don't do that to the camera. That was not nice, Micah. I understand you want to wave and be happy, but we can't do that right now. Right, if you are normally an independent center, I'm going to give you your book and you're going to start this work. When you're done, independent center, you're going to take this page and you're going to carefully tear it out and put it in your portfolio. Here you go, Brianna, here's your book. I'll let you pass out your books to the rest of your group, Brianna. Come sit right here. All right, here you go. If you finish all your independent work, there is a game loaded that you can do on the computers. They'll be back here that you can play. Aaron has one. Carter will have one on his computer. There'll be one right here for independent to play the game. You're going to click on the different life cycles. It's already loaded for you, but you've got to do your independent work first, your written work. Then you will get a chance to do that. I said do both. Both sides. Both sides. Both this page and that page.
Yes.
Using those in there. Good
Yes.
job. Thank you. All right. I'm going to move this up so I can see my group. That's my fault, Miss Briggs. I told him to do skill builders because I didn't think we had enough computers. Because Steven should be on a computer.
You need to get your head up and start your Lexia skill builder.
Sit on your bottom, please.
For that cookie.
Steven should be on the computer. All right. Hey, guys. Good morning. How are y'all? Great. Okay, you're great. Okay. Let's look at the pencils. We'll do that right this second, okay? All right.
I love science.
You love science? Okay. Miss Briggs, could you? It's maybe right there. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
We can't do that. Scoot up, please, so we can get started so we're not finishing. Micah, if we keep on, you're going to have to do this lesson with me during recess, not right now. Because you're stopping your other friends from learning. All right, this is the passage we're going to start off with today. And I told y'all a little bit about that this morning. Okay, let's put our finger. What's that title?
Life cycles.
That's right here. Yes. Right here. Life cycles. Who is it written by?
Andrew Frinkle.
Andrew Frinkle. Yeah, Miss Britt, I didn't think that we had that. I forgot we had that computer. You put somebody else. I apologize. Okay. So Andrew Frinkle, he is the what?
Author.
The author. Okay, let's read that.
Plants and animals don't always look the same. They go through different stages as they grow. These stages are called a life cycle.
Okay, stop right there. This is what I want to do for a minute. Let's start. I'm going to read again, but I want Micah and London to read that first paragraph, and then I'm going to let Riley and Ariel read the second paragraph. Okay, start. Micah and Ariel together.
Plants and animals.
I'm sorry. Micah and London.
Plants and animals don't always look the same. They go through different stages as they grow. These stages are called a life cycle.
A life cycle. Very good. Okay, Riley and Ariel. Metamorphosis. So let's talk about that for a minute. That's a big word. That's going to be one of your vocabulary words this week. Metamorphosis. So keep reading and let's see what a metamorphosis is.
This is
It's right follow with your finger.
A butterfly starts as an egg, finishes as a caterpillar, then a
Chrysalis, a cocoon, and hatches butterfly. Sure does change, and we're going to talk about those changes in a minute. All right, Micah in London, read the next paragraph, please. 1, 2, 3, go.
plants don't eat.
Let's start again. Hang on just a second, and stay with your partner, please. Okay, go.
Also, they go from an egg to a tadpole. To an adult tadpole. Don't look that much like dogs.
Oh, stop. Now it is Riley and Ariel's turn to read the last paragraph. Go. 1, 2, 3, go.
Plants don't use as much as animals, but they change too. Plants
Follow along with your finger.
seed and start to grow roots. Later they flower or make fruit. Then they make more plants.
All right, so let's talk about, everybody put their finger on metamorphosis. That's in the second paragraph. Metamorphosis. What did we say metamorphosis means?
This is
What is it? What's a metamorphosis?
It's a change.
It's a change. It's a change. Oh, yeah. It's a change. So let's look at the diagram. I'm going to hold mine up. You look at yours. This is a diagram. This is a diagram, and this is a diagram. These are all diagrams. So look at the first one. This is a diagram of a butterfly. So what is this?
An egg.
It's like a little egg. Well, it wouldn't be
A cocoon.
a cocoon. It looks kind of like the cocoon, maybe. Casein, where the egg goes, casein. And then it turns into what? What is this?
A caterpillar.
Okay, this wouldn't be a cocoon yet because this would be the egg because he has to be a caterpillar. Then he metamorphoses, changes into, once he goes to a caterpillar, he actually goes to a chrysalis or a cocoon. Then he goes into a butterfly. Let's look at the frog. See how he starts off as little eggs, and then he starts to go into a tadpole, then all the way into a frog. Put your finger on that diagram. Look at that diagram, Casey. We're on the frog. See how it goes from the egg all the way? I think butterflies and frogs go through some pretty incredible metamorphosis. What do you think? Think about how they start off, what they look like, and what they end up looking like. Right? Like we start off as babies, and as babies, do we still kind of look a little bit like that as an adult?
No.
Really? I kind of think we do. We still have 5 fingers. We still have our 5 toes. We still have 2 arms, 2 legs, 1 head. But look, a tadpole starts off looking like a fish and ends up a frog with toes and legs. That's how they're very different, right? That's extremely different. They're extremely different. Yes, they have a... So look at the... Now let's look at the diagram down here. Look at the diagram down here. And the plants. Plants start off as little bitty seeds. And they get planted. And then they grow. And they grow into a bigger plant and a bigger plant. So put your finger, I want you to put your finger on what you think is the coolest change on that paper. What you think is the most interesting, fascinating, incredible change. London, you like the butterfly change? That one is pretty neat. Me too. I love butterflies too. That's what?
That's one of the rainbow high dolls.
Okay. What about you, Ariel? What do you think is, what do you like the best? The what? Is it but on here? From on here? The plants? Oh yeah. Because they grow into pretty flowers, don't they? And that's really, really neat. I really like that. What about you, Kason? What do you think? The plants? You like the plant too? What about you, Micah? What's your most interesting change? What do you like?
I think a frog because frogs they change, and as they change, well, what they do is they go up to the surface, and it's so cool because They start as eggs, and then as soon as they hatch, they try to go to the surface,
That is so
and then
cool.
go higher to the surface,
Yeah.
and then go higher,
And then even higher. Yes.
and then as soon as it hits full stage, it hits the surface.
Yes. Okay, and later this week we're gonna talk about the frogs, and we're gonna watch a video, and it's really neat. Hang on just a minute, guys. I thought, Valeria, is there a problem? Are you having trouble with it? Okay, you have your diagrams to draw from. Here you go. You got it. I just wonder where you're flipping through the page. You got it. Good job. All right, Jace, work on your stuff. Okay, so I'm gonna give you all your STEM Scopes book, and we're gonna go to page 27. Page 27, please, Micah. Turn to page 27. Turn to page 27. 27. What number is in the tens place on 27? What number's in the tens place in 27? 2. Very good. What number's in the ones place? What number's in the ones place? A 7. Very good. Very good. Yes, Riley?
25.
You have a garden head? So you've gotten to see all kinds of things grow and change, haven't you? That's really cool. I'm glad that you've gotten to do that. This week for homework, you are going to make a tree journal. And I'm going to give you the stuff for that, and you're going to talk about growing and changing, so you can even talk about your garden. But now I want you guys to look up here at my computer, Micah. And I want you to look at page 27. What does it say at the top?
Explore.
Explore, and then it says what? Life cycles. Okay, can y'all stop swinging your feet because you're kicking people? That's not very kind. So keep your feet still. Thank you. Now, 27, Kason. A 2 and a 7. 2 and a 7. 2 and, yep, 2 in the tens place, 7 in the ones. Okay, so what you're going to do with me to start off is I'm going to show you this really cool thing, this game, this really interesting game. London, please stop picking because you're picking earrings. Thank you. This is a life cycle of an ant. Wow. Yep. You'll see that? And you'll see. And we hit start. What do you think should be first for an ant? Tell me. You think it should be the egg? Should that be on 1?
Yeah.
What do y'all think? Should that be on 1?
Yes.
I think it does. And those are called what? Eggs. This is the game that you're going to get to play independent when you're done with your written diagrams. What do you think would be next? Do you think it would be this?
Yes.
The larva? Okay, we'll make the larva, and it's telling us, can y'all see?
Yeah.
What about that?
Yeah.
He's called the pupa. Do you think that should go there?
Yeah, a pupa.
And see how we're labeling it? Yeah, if independent group finishes their right, they get to do this part. A pupa is like the baby part of it before it becomes a full adult. It's when it's still the baby inside the egg growing.
Oh.
Yeah. And then we have the ant.
I saw like door.
All right. Let's see. It said we got it right.
Yeah. I
We
want to
got
play
it
again.
right. Okay, well you need to now, since we got that right, I'm going to put that back up there and you need to draw it here. You need to do your ant right here. So you need to do your ant in the first box. Right here, hon. You need to do your, so the first box we said was what? The eggs. Egg. Then we said it was what? The larva.
And then we said put apostrophe S. So put an
No,
apostrophe.
yep, no, you're gonna have to write smaller. Let me show you. Okay, but it all has to go in this box. All, this whole circle has to go in this one box. So you're not gonna do it right really big. Okay, I've got some erasers. Yep, you can use this. You're gonna, in that first box, you've got to get the whole circle. So it's important for you to write small because we're big kids now, and we write small. We don't write big, huge scribble.
And now,
We have to do small.
Brianna,
So inside that that box. You're doing your one circle. So draw your circle. Let me show you this how I would do mine. Gonna draw it. Got that to look at. No, don't touch London. You have it right in front of you. You don't put life cycle 1 egg. No, you would put ant. Life cycle 1 is an ant. Because this is the first one you're doing. It's an ant. So, if you look at mine, I'm going to do my circle. Okay, there were no people on there.
Oh, no, these are my ants.
Okay. So, you see, I'm going to draw my circle. At the top, I'm going to have these, and those are my what? What is at the top? Eggs. That's what I put on my diagram. Do my arrows to see what's next. What was next, Riley? The larva kind of looks like that. What was next? We do our arrows to show what was next. What was next? Was it the pupa? And then last, we had our full-grown ant, right?
Yes.
Ant. So see, is mine perfect? Is mine perfect, London?
Yes.
No, it's not, Kason. I'm not a perfect artist. I'm not a very good artist. But this is how I need you to label it, because it's not a diagram unless it's labeled. So you've got about 2 more minutes to finish this up, and we're going to change groups. And then you're going to use
Spider's legs. What part of the spider?
L-A-V.
Yep. Remember, you can sound it out. L-A-R-V-A. Larva. London, what's the problem, sweetie? You don't. It doesn't have to be perfect. Look, I made mine kind of just look like a little half moon thing. There you go. Remember, I just need something to show me it's a diagram. Good job, Ariel. Can you label it, please? Because if it doesn't have its captions, say captions. These are the captions. Kason, that's not very kind when you're talking like that.
Apostrophe after the spider. The word spider.
These are the captions right here. Labeling what they each are our captions. Okay, honey, just log out and try again. It's okay. Stuff happens.
Okay, I numbered everything.
Oh, we didn't number it. We labeled it.
Labeled it.
Say label.
Label.
Okay. Label. Label your captions. What do those captions do for us? What are they helping us understand?
The life cycle.
The life cycle. The life cycle of what? On this one, on this particular picture. The life cycle of a what? Of an ant. Because even an ant has a life cycle. So these words you added are the, what are these called again? Captions. And what is this whole circle called? A life cycle. And this is a what of a life cycle, Micah? It's a what of a life cycle. Don't do that, honey, you're going to get hurt. What's that? It's the what of a life cycle.
It's a circle of life.
Right, yes, but we call it a diagram. Good job. Carter, you finished your life cycles? Micah, I need you to stop because I can't hear Carter. Micah, did you finish your life cycles? Carter, is that what you're trying to tell me? Okay, then you can maybe play the game that's up on your computer. Thank you. All right, there you go. Good job. Okay, you did good. Finish labeling it, Kason, with the words. With the words, please. Okay, what I'm going to give you now is I'm going to give you your diagrams to take with you so you can draw and make your own when you go to Independent, okay? Let me go grab those. I think I accidentally left them over here, and that was not part of my plan, but sometimes that happens.
There are 6 lizards. Their tails have stripes. The blank blank have stripes. Say that.
Sometimes teachers get so excited because we want it to be just perfect that we get so distracted trying to make it perfect for y'all that we make mistakes. Because teachers make mistakes too. Did y'all know that?
Yes.
We do, yes. So listen to me.
The lizards blank have stripes.
This is what you're going to do. I'm gonna help you. Micah, are you listening to Miss Chambers? I need you to tear this out nice and neatly. Tear this page out nice and neatly. You start like this, it'll just tear right out because it's made to tear out. Good job. It's made to tear out. It's made to tear out.
It can't tear out.
Right.
Okay?
So what part of a lizard's body has
Then put it in your science portfolio, please. Open your science portfolio. Just stick it in there. Don't put it in the holes. I don't want y'all to do it. It doesn't have holes yet because I don't want y'all messing with the metal frags. So just set it in there, please. Set it in there. Set it inside your science portfolio. Good job.
Dang.
Set it inside your science portfolio. Go ahead and put your name. I like how you were putting your name on it already, Hasten. Good job.
I need to put my name.
Yeah, that'd be good. In case it falls out, honey. It's okay. It's okay. Calm down. Hey, Micah. It's not a big deal. Calm down. It's fine.
Alright. I'll be right back with it.
Okay. I'm going to give you each, listen, I'm going to give you each, Micah, listen to Miss Chambers so you know what to do. You're going to take this with you to Independent. Okay? You're going to take these, but when Independent is over, I'm going to need to get these back from some of you. Alright? So you're going to take these. It's got 4 different diagrams of life cycles. You've already drawn one, so you can just pick 3 more off of here to draw like we drew our ant. Okay? And you're going to draw it on your paper because you've got a spot for another one. Then you can do back here another one and another one. And then you're going to write about them, how they're alike, how they're different. All right.
So we can't select Independent group. We do this instead of
You can play the game on the computer when this is completely done.
completely done.
Alright. Okay. My group, line up with your portfolios.
Well, this will be for another
Can we change our books to
No, not your STEM scopes, but honey, I'm gonna keep those.
That'd be camera.
Take your portfolios and go line up, please. Computers, log off.
after the S because it's more than one lizard.
Take your portfolio and line up, Micah. They're waiting for you because you're a turn. Walking to you, Micah. Yes, take your portfolio. Thank you. Good job, guys. Carter, can you please be the person for Independent group to please go gather all of your diagrams that you used to make your drawings because I need those back, please. Yes. Thank you. All right. Cashton, follow in.
Over there.
Follow in, Cashton.
Take your belongings, go in.
Natalie, Romello, Steven, have a seat.
Here.
Steven, I need Jace.
This is after the S. Teresa will
Be careful, please.
Lizard tails. Y'all go ahead, get on Imagine Learning, you two.
Thank you, Jace. You got your pencils? Oh, none of you brought your science portfolios. I need your science portfolios, Cashton. I need the science portfolio.
More than one lizard.
All right, Carter, bring those to me, sweetie. Steven, I need your science portfolio and your pencil. I think you're just going to close it. Close it for now and have a seat. Guys, can y'all please not get by the camera?
my jacket.
Because you keep bumping it.
Independent group underneath.
I need help.
Ariel, you need the camera. You can move it, sweetie, if it's in your way. Thank you, Carter. All right, I'm still need. Come on, Steven. All right, I should have Jace, Romello, Kaden, Natalie, Cashton, and Steven in my group. It's okay. Pull up a chair, honey. Pull up a chair. Pull up that chair right there. Perfect. All right, guys, have a seat. How are y'all today? Good. All right, we're gonna learn. We're gonna start on our life cycles. We're gonna talk some more about them. We're going to talk about diagrams and captions and some cool things. We're gonna keep this closed for right now, though. Okay, honey bun? You don't need that right now. Steven, I need your eyes. Eyes on Miss Chambers, okay? Eyes on Miss Chambers. You already had your computer time. Sit up, Cashton. Okay, well, I need you to get ready so we get started, okay?
So she gave you your work, so go ahead and get busy on it. When you're done, then you can go.
Okay, we're gonna get started, guys. I'm just checking my time and our recording. were talking a little bit about life cycles and what they are, and we talked about it. We watched our video. Jace, what's wrong? What's wrong? Are you ready to learn? You're not ready to learn?
Why don't you come
Okay.
over here with me for a moment?
Do you need to go see Miss Briggs for a minute? Okay.
Let's go take a moment, a breather.
Can you take a break? Okay. I'm going to pass out our passage that we're reading today. Every day we're going to read a different informational text telling us about life cycles. Ashton, can you go put your jacket up? Because you don't need that anymore. It's kind of distracting you. So go hang it over there and come back so we can read. There you go. There you go. It should have been. London's not. Okay. Nope. It should have been in her book. That's fine. There you go, honey. Alright. Alright, let's look at our passage. Yours. And we'll have one for Jace if he's able to calm down. Alright, let's put our finger under life cycles. Right here. So what's the title of this story? Life cycles. Who wrote it? Stephen? Who wrote that book? This story, this passage? Sprinkle. Look at it. That's it. I. Let's look at that I. Let's say Sprinkle. Good job. Let's look at it for a minute before we start reading. Cashin, do you see? This is a diagram. Is this a diagram? Yes. This is a diagram. This is also a diagram, isn't it? Yes, it is. It is a diagram. So let's put our fingers under. And what we're going to do is I'm going to let you guys read together. You're going to choral read together, and that's where you stay with your group. Sit up, Kaden. That's where you stay with your group. You ready? You ready, Natalie? Everybody got their reading fingers? 1, 2, 3, read.
Plants and animals don't
Always.
the same. They go through different stages.
As.
They grow. These stages are called a life cycle.
You're not reading.
Some
Stop. That's the first paragraph. Passion, I need you all the way on your bottom. Feet down. Okay, now put your legs around here so you're sitting straight up and ready to learn. I need you in learning position. Okay, we're going to start with some. Everybody put your finger on some. Some. Okay, wait. 1, 2, 3. Oh, hang on before we read that. There's a really big word. Everybody put your finger on that M. That word. That's called metamorphosis. Can you say that? You've heard of that before? Metamorphosis? Metamorphosis is a change. It's a change. It is when an animal, a person, or a plant is as they change. It's the way up here, the way the butterfly, Stephen, goes from an egg to a caterpillar to eventually a butterfly. That's called a metamorphosis. Good job. That's a big word. Yes. All right, let's put our fingers. I need reading fingers, Cashin, on the word some. On the word some. 1, 2, 3, go.
Some animals have a metamorphosis.
This
This is a change that makes them like a different thing. A butterfly
Cashin.
has an egg and happens as a caterpillar. Then it goes into a chrysalis.
A chrysalis, a cocoon.
It happens as a butterfly. It doesn't change.
So that is some huge changes a butterfly goes through, right? I mean, are you kind of glad that you're not a butterfly? Think about it. Think about that. They come, they're a little egg. And Stephen, Isaac here, honey. Stephen, we're not looking at the computer. Isaac here. Come sit right here for me, Stephen. Switch places with me, okay? Come sit right here. That would be a great learning spot for you. Sit right here.
The apostrophe.
Right here.
Put your finger on number 1. Finger on number 1.
Alright. So imagine if you were a butterfly. You would have to build yourself even a cocoon and go live in it for a while. So you're this little worm-looking thing called a caterpillar. Then you build yourself a cocoon and you have to live in that.
What's sharp?
And then all of a sudden one day you just wake up and you have all these wings and you can
Okay,
fly.
whose teeth?
That would be really crazy. I think it would be scared. That'd be silly. Think about a frog. Let's read about frogs now. Let's see about their change. Start with our frogs right here.
How many?
1, 2, 3, go.
Frogs say they are awesome. They go from an
Not after
egg
this.
to a
Tadpole
Right up here.
to an adult.
tadpole.
Please do
Adult.
apostrophe S.
Hey, put your hands out, guys. Put your hands out. Let's leave our hair alone. Y'all, why do y'all mess with your hair down? Let's leave your hair alone. Y'all, your hair looks great.
Yes,
I
so
love it.
you have to write these sharks.
It's itchy a little bit. Yeah, sometimes the really dry weather makes it itchy. But let's
The sharks.
get back to our story, okay? Can we get back to our story?
Apostrophe S.
Put your hand out your hair, please. Thank you. So yeah, the frog starts as what, Steven? What is that?
Y'all write
What is that?
Don't do any of
Eggs. And then what is this, guys? What is this?
What is it?
That's its eggs. So it starts off. Then it goes tadpole. But look how the tadpole starts to change. Look at the diagram. Do you see the diagram? And this chambers, to help you understand, I am going to label and make some captions on here for you. So we have,
the hallway. Okay, if you'll step up there, I'll be right there. Let me get them their song.
and then we have our tadpoles.
So we had to use shark's teeth because shark is one.
And then it goes all the way to what?
And then we put an
Our
apostrophe.
frog. This that I'm doing, I'm adding labels, or what do we call this? Captions.
Okay, now that apostrophe
Caption, what are these
doesn't
called?
look like
Captions. Very good. What is this whole thing called, Steven? What is this called? This big old thing. It is a life cycle. It's a diagram of a life cycle. Yeah, of a life cycle.
Okay, so
Okay, let's read that very last paragraph real quick. Put your finger under plants.
web.
Put your finger under
Okay, how many
plants.
spiders?
1, 2, 3, go.
Look at the first sentence.
Don't usually
Highlight two. Highlight the number word two. Highlight the number word two. These spiders are using an S. So we are not going to do an apostrophe S again.
Okay, I want to read this to you one time just so you hear all the words. So follow along. Please get out of your hair. Follow along. Okay, put your finger under plants. Put your finger under plants and follow along as I read. Plants and animals don't always look the same. They go through different stages as they grow. These stages are called a life cycle. Some animals have a metamorphosis. Right here, Romello, follow along, please. This is a change that makes them like a different thing. Y'all see the exclamation point? So we can't just read like a different thing. Like a different thing.
Show it's more than
A butterfly starts as an egg and hatches as a caterpillar. Then it goes into a chrysalis, a cocoon, and then hatches as a butterfly. It sure does change. Frogs change a lot also. They go from an egg to a tadpole to an adult. Tadpoles don't look that much like frogs, do they? Do they? Do frogs and tadpoles look alike? Steven, do they look the same? Do they look the same or do they look different? They look different? They do look different. The tadpole really doesn't have many legs, does it? Over here, honey, over here. Or hands, exactly. Plants don't usually change as much as animals, but they change too. Plants start as a seed and start to grow roots. Later, use your fingers. Later, follow along. Later, they flower or make fruit. Then they make plants. More plants. That's right. Hey, so what we're going to do, real quick, is you're going to get your books. You're going to get your books. I'm going to show you. You're going to get your STEM Scopes books, which are your science books. You're going to turn them to page 27. Turn them to page 27. Turn them to page 27. Good job, Kaden. So what number is in the ones place on 27? Page 27. Nope, the ones place. The 7. Very good. The 7. So go to page 27, please. Page 27. Good job. Everybody at page 27? Page 27. Alright, let's look at that. Come on, Cashton. I need you to get to page 27 and put your name at the top of it. Page 27 and put your name at the top of that paper. Good job. Good job, Stephen. Alright. So if you will look at page 27, the title, it says Life Cycles. And you've got a box right here that says Life Cycle 1. So we're going to talk about the life cycle of an ant together. So get your pencil ready. Actually, you can put your pencils down. You're not getting them right away. Okay, we are going to look up here. I have a little interactive game with a diagram that you guys are going to help me. Kason, please do your work. So we are going to start in the life cycle of ants. I need y'all to help me figure out where it should go. You ready, Steven? Okay. All right. So the eggs, where should the eggs go? In box number 1. In box number 1, okay. And what do we call those? Eggs. So should I put the caption under it?
Yeah.
Okay. What should be next, do you think? The larva, the pupa, or the ant?
The larva.
Very good. It is the larva. Put your head up, Natalie. Larva. You trying to see better, honey? Okay. Should I put, now I got to put the caption that says what under it? Larva. Okay. What do you think should be next? The pupa or the ant?
Pupa.
The pupa. So let's get the pupa over here. It's right there. And then you drag the names. Let's drag. Let's see. Pupa.
Oh, this
And now we're going to put the what? The ant.
stop.
Alright. And then we got to put its label or its caption. Ant. This whole circle. This whole circle. This whole. Now look at the chambers. Look at my computer, Stephen. This whole circle is called a diagram, Romello, of an ant life cycle. Can you say that? Diagram of an ant life cycle. You are now going to draw it. I'm going to show you how you can do it, okay? I'm going to show you how to draw it. Let me get my paper. I did one for the other group, so I'm going to do one for you guys. Let me just get some plain paper. You can check it, Cashton. Thank you for reminding me that. You hit right there, and it'll tell you if you got your answer right or not. Yeah. And you guys will get more time throughout this week to play this game because it's got a lot more than just an ant on here. It's got, you can read about the different animals on here, the different organisms, and it's got different life cycles of different organisms. It's got bees, butterflies, chickens, and you guys will all get a chance to check that out later throughout the week as we go. So now we're going to look at real quickly, so we can draw it together, because when you go to independent, you're going to do this on your own. My pencil here. You guys ready? So the first thing you're going to do, Romello, is make a circle inside that box. So the box looks like this. You got a pencil, Kaden? Okay, you already have a box, so you don't need to draw a box. Yes. So where it says life cycle 1, I want you to write ant. Ant. How do we spell ant, Stephen? Okay, can you write A-N-T right there? Ant. A-N-T. Good job. A-N-T. Alright, so now inside your box, I want a circle. Can you draw me a pretty good circle? Draw me a circle. Inside the box. Inside the box, I need a circle. What? See mine? Inside the box? Like that. Like that. Just draw a circle, sweetie. It doesn't, no, it doesn't have to be perfect. Because we don't want to spend too much time on it. Okay. We're going to go through the ant diagram again really quick so you have it to draw. So we said one was the eggs.
Okay, where's your apostrophe? I don't see anything on the bottom.
Okay, so just hang on. We need to draw this as we go. So now you've got your circle. Stephen, you need to make your circle bigger. You're not going to have room.
Is it one or two?
Okay, make your circle bigger like mine. So at the top, draw little and label them
6 lizards.
eggs.
You gotta highlight 6. There's more than one, sweetie, so it goes after that.
like mine, Ashton. And then we said 2 was the larva. So then we need to draw our little arrow saying that it's a life cycle. Draw your eggs up here, Stephen. Draw them and label eggs.
No,
Just
not
like
you,
this,
baby.
Stephen.
You
Like
go
this.
out. It is called-
Eggs and then the larva. At the top. At the top of the circle, because it starts at the top.
Hold on.
And then your larva does not have to be perfect. Mine's gonna look more like a little half moon. Put some lines on it. And larva, let's sound it out. How do we spell it? L-A-R-V-A. Larva. Okay, no, you eggs, Stephen, then larva. It's not larva eggs. Look, it's like this. Eggs, then larva. Okay, what did we say this third one was? Pupa. That's okay, that's a close. I know it's a silly word. Okay, so then let's go. You gotta draw more arrows. Circle. Our life cycle circle is continuing. And we're gonna draw our pupa, so it's kind of like this. It doesn't have to be perfect. And that is a pupa. Nope, the larva goes here.
One lizard.
Look, Stephen. Look at this. You've got eggs, then the larva, then the pupa. Egg, larva, pupa. You're usually a very good drawer.
So it's S.
That handwriting's great.
Go ahead and write your name.
Yeah, well, Papa would be P-O or
Write
P-A.
your name. We'll just highlight it.
P-A-P-A would be Papa. Let's sound it out. What says P? P. U.
You're gonna be with that next one.
P.
You're not gonna do it well.
Yeah, but we do an A at the end. It's got the schwa. The schwa, like in banana, pupa. Alright, and our last one is what? What's our last picture on our diagram? The actual real ant.
Yes, that sounds good.
Ant.
Where's your name?
What is funny?
Draw your pictures to go with it. Because your pictures are part of your diagram. Your pictures are part of your diagram.
The apostrophe goes after the S.
Alright, listen to Miss Chambers so you know what you're going to do next. What I want you to now do
This is the spider.
is to tear that
Spider
page
shows ownership.
carefully out of the book. It'll tear nice and neatly. It will. It's made to tear out.
Stop punching.
You're going to stick it inside your science portfolio. Just lay it in there.
After the S.
Just lay it in there. I can help you. No big deal.
The apostrophe
So
doesn't
don't want to. There you go.
Lizard
There you go.
tail doesn't
Good job. You guys did so well. And close your book.
This is his pointer
And then put that.
and me.
Yes, sir. Put that in your science portfolio. Natalie, do you need some help?
Just write your name on the worksheet.
Put it in your science portfolio, please. The paper you're tearing out.
Jace, go ahead and log off and go.
Put it in here.
And you have to make a course
Yes,
that
sir.
you're going to have to do
Because you're going to
today.
be like a scientist this week and you're going to keep your scientific journal.
Okay, what's the title?
Your scientific journal.
Connections.
Just lay it. You're just going to lay it. And today I'm going to get it all in there where it needs to go. I'm gonna help you organize it. Where's your paper? Did you tear it out? You gotta tear it out, sweetie.
Adjective.
Let me show you. Where's your paper? Sit down, Kate. Let's see.
Okay, so what's the
Take
first
this
one?
paper. I need this paper.
Okay, so it says right.
Thank you.
Item.
Turn around, guys. I'm not done giving directions. Your eyes should still be up here, Romello. Your eyes should be up here.
In a peaceful way, full of peace.
Okay, this is what you're going to do. When you go to Independence Center, listen to me.
To you.
You're going to have more diagrams. You say diagrams, look at me. Natalie, what are these called?
Like reading.
Diagrams. This is a diagram of an oak tree. This is a diagram of a plant. Stephen, are you looking at Miss Chambers? This is a diagram of a butterfly. This is a diagram of a ladybug. So you're going to take your paper that you put in your science portfolio, right here. You're going to pick another one. No, close it, Romello. It was at Independence Center. Not right now. You're going to pick one of these life cycles, Natalie, and draw and label it, Stephen. Then you're going to flip it over. You're going to pick a different life cycle diagram and draw it and label it. Then you're going to pick a different life cycle and draw and label it. So you're going to have, we've already done the ant together. You're going to pick 3 more. I'm giving you 4 to choose from, but you're only going to pick 3. But you can't forget your captions or your diagram, right? Because that's what helps us know what's going on in the text and what's happening in the life cycle. Okay, so put this in your portfolio. There you go.
So you could write to me.
Okay, so when we go to independent, when you go to your independent group in just a minute, you're going to use those. I'm going to go ahead
Breathing in the air.
and pass those out. I want you to be thinking of questions, Stephen. Be thinking of more questions you may have about the life cycle that we will talk about some tomorrow. Be thinking about what you already know, what you want to learn, and what a question you may have. What do you want to learn?
Cats and fish.
Okay, you want to learn about life cycle cats and fish? Okay. Alright, well we're about to, I'm going to get yourself to your independent center, and then we're going to switch groups, okay? You guys did really
What
good.
is terrifying? Is it
And we
calm
can
or scary?
turn off our recording because we did our 2 groups. You have to tell my teacher bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.